The drama surrounding Caitlin Clark and the WNBA has taken a turn so sharp, so polarizing, that it's no longer just about basketball. It's not about wins or stats. Not anymore. It's become about race, identity, politics, and an old guard, battling desperately to maintain control over a league that, for the first time in decades, is actually being watched. Because make no mistake, Caitlin Clark is not just a rookie. She's a seismic shift. That shift has exposed fault lines that were always there, hiding beneath the surface. Lines drawn not just by rivalries, but by ideology, by resentment, by fear. In any other professional sport, when someone from your team gets hit, you stand up for them. Men in the NBA do it all the time. It's instinct, brotherhood, fraternity. You don't let someone take a cheap shot at your teammate without consequences. But in the WNBA, when Caitlin Clark gets blindsided, there's silence or worse, applause. Why? Some say it's jealousy. Others say it's racism. And some claim it's both. Let's be honest. Caitlin Clark's presence is a disruption. She's white. She's straight. She doesn't come from the in-group that's dominated the WNBA's identity for the past 2 decades, and she's winning. She's getting the endorsements. She's getting the fans. She's making the headlines. And for a league that's long been ignored, some of its loudest voices have responded not with gratitude but with hostility. This isn't just about hard fouls or ignored, flagrant calls. This is about power, about control, about who gets to. Tell the story of women's basketball and who gets silenced. Now, the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark were eliminated from the playoffs, swept in to games. But let's not pretend this was just another series. The build-up to those games wasn't about basketball strategy. It was a cultural war. Fans showed up in droves. Fever jerseys flooded the arena. The energy was electric. But not everyone appreciated the change, even Dallas Wings players. Like Natasha Howard, admitted to feeling uneasy seeing so many Caitlin Clark fans in their home arena. And while she gave credit to the growing fan base, there was a hesitance, a tone of conflict between celebration and resentment. That internal tug-of-war is the heart of the WNBA's crisis. Because Caitlin Clark is bringing attention the league has begged for, and yet she's also become a target of her peers, of media narratives, of the very institutions profiting off her presence. Let's talk about the Olympics. Caitlin Clark, arguably the biggest draw in women's sports, did not make the US roster. She led her team to the playoffs, took hits that would have sent most players into concussion protocol, and still no nod from Team USA. Angel Reese, meanwhile, a player whose offensive skills remain inconsistent and whose footwork still betrays a lack of conditioning, has enjoyed more headlines for her trash talk than her performance. Why? Because this isn't just about merit. It's about message. Caitlin Clark doesn't fit the approved narrative. She's not bitter. She's not angry. She doesn't play the victim. She plays basketball. That, apparently, is a problem. It's not hard to see what's happening. The league has created a culture that rewards grievance. Some players don't want competition, they want control. They want to define what is acceptable, who gets to speak, and who gets to shine. And if you break those rules like Caitlin Clark has, you become a problem, a punching bag, a threat. Remember Kennedy Carter's cheap shot? That wasn't basketball. That was a message. You don't belong here. And when Caitlin didn't retaliate, when she got up and dropped 20 points instead, she exposed them. She revealed the insecurity behind the aggression, and yet no flagrant. No review, no public statement from the league. Where was Kathy Engelbert? Where was Adam Silver? Nowhere. The same league that releases statements over mean tweets from fans said nothing when its most marketable player was elbowed into the next week. Caitlin got poked in the eye so hard, she sported a visible black eye in Game 2. No whistle, no penalty, no acknowledgement. Just silence. But if a fan tweets something harsh at a player, the league leaps into action. Press releases, condemnations, warnings of criminal referrals. The double standard is staggering. This is not about safety. It's not about inclusion. It's about politics. It's about a radical fringe holding a microphone and telling the rest of the world how to behave. Let's not forget, where this started, the WNBA was, for years, an afterthought. Kept alive by the NBA like a charity case, an investment in optics, not profitability. The league was propped up by a group of players who often felt ignored, misunderstood, and underpaid. Many of those women are lesbians. Many are women of color. They have every right to exist, to compete, and to be respected. No one questions that. But what happens when someone else arrives? Someone who doesn't share that identity. Who isn't interested in pushing political narratives? Who just wants to play? That's Caitlin Clark. She's straight, she's white, she's unbothered. She doesn't care about the drama. She just drops buckets, and that's why they hate her. Because Caitlin Clark didn't come through the approved channels. She wasn't chosen. She wasn't built in the WNBA lab. She earned her following with her game. She electrified college. basketball and brought millions of fans with her. She didn't inherit a platform, she created one. And now, instead of celebrating her, the league is gaslighting its own audience. Fans have noticed. Many of them are new. Some have never watched women's basketball before. They tuned in for Caitlin. And instead of being welcomed, they're being called racists, misogynists, bigots. Why? Because they don't cheer for the right players. Because they don't follow the unwritten rules? Let's be clear. There is no evidence Caitlin Clark fans are more racist than any other fan base. But that hasn't stopped Brittany Griner and others from making vague accusations. There's no proof. Just innuendo. Just whispers. Deflection. It reminds you of the Duke volleyball situation, when accusations of racist heckling exploded. Online, only to be debunked by actual investigations. No slurs, no proof. But the damage had been done. Now we see the same playbook in the WNBA. Let's attack the fans. Let's blame the media. Let's point the finger anywhere except the mirror. Because if we admit what's really happening, that Caitlin Clark is saving this league from irrelevance, then we have to face the fact that we've been doing it wrong for years, and the media is complicit. Columnists like Greg Doyle twist themselves into knots to avoid admitting the obvious, that Caitlin Clark is a transcendent talent, that the league has failed to protect her, that the hostility she faces from some players isn't righteous, it's petty. Let's talk about Angel Reese. She's talented, no doubt. But let's not pretend she's a victim. She built her brand off Clark's name. She taunted her, mocked her. She ran to every camera that would listen. Yet somehow she's the one being oppressed. No, that's not how this works. Caitlin Clark has taken elbows, slaps, insults, and still doesn't complain. She shows up, she plays, she wins. And in return, she gets vilified for existing. Nike won't promote her. Not a commercial, not a shoe, nothing. Why? Because they fear the mob? They're terrified of offending the loudest voices on Twitter. Same voices who demand diversity, but don't actually want inclusion. The same voices who think supporting Caitlin Clark is racist, but ignoring her black eye is progress. It's backwards. It's cowardly. It's killing the league. The WNBA has had 27 years to build something, and they failed. Caitlin Clark gave them a second chance, a new audience, a rebirth. But instead of embracing it, they're attacking it, mocking it, undermining it. Meanwhile, fans are asking simple questions. Why is Caitlin getting fouled harder than anyone else? Why aren't referees protecting her? Why are teammates hesitant to stand up for her? Why do coaches seem afraid to say what everyone is thinking? Because they're afraid. Afraid of being called names. Afraid of losing their jobs, afraid of being labeled something ugly for telling the truth. But the truth is this: Caitlin Clark is not the problem. She's the solution, and the people who keep trying to tear her down, they're the problem. They want to keep the league small, insular, political. They want a clubhouse, not a global sport. And now the backlash is growing. Fans are frustrated. Sponsors are watching. Viewers are walking away. Because this isn't basketball anymore, it's a circus. And unless the WNBA leadership finds some courage in, lest they start protecting their stars. Holding players accountable and respecting the fans they're going to lose everything, Caitlin Clark will be fine. She's too good to fail. But the WNBA might be its last shot, because the spotlight doesn't stay forever. And if the league keeps squandering it, that light will move on, leaving the bitterness, the excuses, and the missed opportunities behind. So now the question remains, will the WNBA rise to meet the momentor? Will it destroy itself from within? And to our viewers, we want to hear from you. Is the WNBA protecting Caitlin Clark, or are they failing her? Are fans being unfairly labeled as racists, or is there more to the story? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with a friend. Because the conversation around women's basketball is only just beginning.